What's up, Predator fans? Mark Daniel here. First of all, let me tell you something. This is going to be very low budget because I'm filming it on my iPhone. I was on the Predator Fans Around the World group on Facebook, and Jared Norman posted a question, and it was a good question. And I decided maybe I'll answer it in the comments. Maybe I'll make a little video to answer some of your questions. I think I'll answer some more questions about the Predator from my head. Again, remember, I am no expert. I will just make up these answers and justify them in my own way. And in saying that, I would like to give you some fine print. My views do not reflect the thoughts or ideas of you, other Predator fans, Fox, 20th Century Fox, Disney, who now owns Fox, John McTiernan, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Stan Winston Studios, James Cameron, or the estate of Kevin Peter Hall. And like Billy says, I wouldn't waste my opinion on a broke dick dog. And plus, I've been drinking a lot of this Dutch bourbon whiskey when you need to get to the chopper anytime. Let's get to the first question. First of all, this is going to be very low budget. I ain't got no clips to show you. I ain't got the rights to nothing. I'm going to just say things, answer the questions, and hope we have a good time. Here we go. My first question comes from Noma Iris Y. Limosantos Naives. She wants to know, why don't the predators kill women? I don't think the fact is that predators don't kill women. I think from the first introduction, we noticed that Anna wanted a weapon when the predator was attacking the team. She kept saying, give me the weapon, give me the weapon. He didn't give her the weapon. He said he didn't kill you because you weren't armed. She was not a threat to him. So I believe that if a predator met a woman that was an actual threat with a weapon, or if he was in danger, I think a predator would harm a woman. In closing, I think a predator will kill a woman if it feels threatened or that woman is a worthy target. We got another question from Art Scholar. He said, in Predator, the first film where the predator grabbed Dutch and he carefully looked at his skull. He wants to know, why do you think he did that? Art, I got to tell you, as we know, the predator is a trophy collector of skulls. And right before that scene, he is cleaning a skull and he's looking at the skull. The predator is the jungle hunter, and he actually caresses the brow bone of that skull. And then when he's looking at Arnold Schwarzenegger, he's using that thermal vision and seeing his skull in there. And I think just like a hunter would look at a buck and his horns and appreciate it, I think in that moment he was appreciating the skull of his victim or his ultimate trophy that he's about to fight, actually admiring his skull that he could see with that thermal vision in that scene. Ariel Castro wants to know, what's the jungle hunter's Yukja real name? Let's see. In the film it opens, the predator ship goes by, jettisons a pod to Earth. It lands in the jungle. We know that Hopper's men were killed and skinned alive by this predator. They were shooting in every direction. This predator stalked Dutch's team. He looked at the dead scorpion. I think that predator's name is James. I think it's that simple, Ariel. Got a question here from the man, Jared. He wants to know, what weapon or armor part was the spear tip shot or launched from when Danny went to retrieve it in the penthouse? If you remember in Predator 2, it's up like in the air-conditioned intake system. Jared, I think it is what it says. It says spear tip. You can't really see what weapon it comes from, so I know it's hard to tell because he's actually cloaked at that moment, and it's this weird kind of cloak. It's a weird shape. You can't tell what shape it is. I think it's going to be from the spear. As you know, that spear does collapse. That spear has different spear tips on it. It has like maybe 5 or 6 around the bottom, 3, and then 1 long spear. So I believe it came from the predator's spear somewhere within that weapon. And again, it is a spear tip, and the city hunter carries a collapsible spear. So I think that's where it came from, the spear. Garrett Brooks, what are the dreads for? Hair, literally. I think it's like the Rastafarian. I know that the design for the predator, among other things, it was based on a piece of artwork of a Rastafarian warrior. I really believe it's just hair, and I'll show you why. Take a look at this. This is my jungle hunter bust. As you can see right here, we get closer to the dreads. If you've seen Predator 2, Rastafarian gangsters all had dreads, and they all had different little things like these in their dreads, really paying tribute to the predator's dreads. But if you look closely down here, you see his chest hairs. And his chest hairs are very coarse and thin. I don't want to touch it because it's very fragile. But I believe that those are little hairs that can get as long as the hairs on his head. So I really believe the dreads are definitely probably a rite of passage and ornate, and they celebrate their hair and they decorate it with different things. I believe the dreads are simply hair that's braided tightly, or it's grown that way and it doesn't need to be braided at all. And I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hey, Mark, in The Predator, the dreads were different. They were used for a different reason. DNA and electronics. Well, guess what? I think that's a load of crap, all right? Forget The Predator. I'm not thinking of that one. I got to re-examine that film. I wasn't happy with the film. I got to see it again several times before I can accept it and put it into my data bank. Right now, it's not. And Shane Black, shame on you for destroying the franchise. And you were in the first one, man. I should have known, because you were writing, and the only things you wrote were the vagina jokes. That's all. I know some people are mad at me. And I have a bonus topic before we get to the last question. Val Valeria was talking about what a female predator would look like. Like, we've seen them in comics and everything, and I feel they just look like Wonder Woman with a predator head. Now, Val talked about doing something completely different. She actually drew one, she said 17 years ago, she drew it as an insectoid and had a badass look. And it was bigger and taller and slender than the male she drew next to it. I like that idea, like maybe making it not even female humanoid at all. So Val Valeria, if you got some of those drawings, put them out. I want to see them. I want to see your concept for a female predator that breaks the norm, that makes it look different. It's not just a sexy woman. No, it's a predator. What's different about it? What's different about that female species? So I'm very interested to see angle on a female predator. Val Valeria gets the drawing. Let me see it. This is a good one. And final one. This is from Jared. He says, in Predator 1, the jungle hunter used a laser to heat up his blades before fighting Dutch. Why? Purpose. Or was he just pretending to be Darth Vader with a red lightsaber style wrist blades to pass the time? First of all, Jared, let me do the jokes. Funny though. Let me show you something. Take a look here. Woo! I got this tattoo here a couple years ago, the 3 dots from the Predator in the exact location where Mac first noticed the Predator laser system right before he got his head blown off. Rest in peace, Mac. But let me tell you, I don't think the Predator's lasers are hot, but they can conduct heat. Check it out. I believe the heat is created by the dissipation of energy in the beam when it hits a solid object, all right, i.e. the blades. It scatters the energy in various directions along the blades, causing it to heat up and glow. It's like he's focusing the laser onto that solid object, much like you take a magnifying glass and focus the light of the sun into one little beam and you can burn ants. I know, Jared, you've been burning ants. Stop burning ants. But that's what I think he did. Now, what was the purpose of that? I don't think it was a purpose to do anything. I don't think that would make the blade stronger. I don't think it would make it sharper. I think he was just heating it up. It was more of a montage of us watching, really, Dutch get ready for the battle, make his weapons, and also watch the Predator himself show his weapon. And it was just a way to show us something cool. Well, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Predator fans around the world, I am one myself. Thank you for your questions. I hope you had a good time. And if you didn't agree with me, that's fine too. Put them in the comments. Let me know what you think, why I'm wrong. And we're just having fun, because remember, it's all bullshit. It's a fictional character, but it's fun to talk about. And remember, if it bleeds, we can kill it. And this was good for me, y'all. COVID-19, being locked up, has got me very depressed. So this helped me out. And I hope you are feeling good, finding things that make you feel inspired and get you through this COVID-19 lockdown. Stay safe, everybody. Peace out.